All right, hey guys, welcome in today. Today we are drawing a race car. So I got my little race car here. So it is going to be a step-by-step by that. So just follow along with me as best as you can. I got my pencil out here, probably outlining in Sharpie. This one I might be similar to my shoe a couple of weeks ago, where I just kind of do an outline, and you can design it and decorate it however that you want to make it awesome. Start out probably about like this size, kind of. I guess about the hand size going this way. Usually I do up and down this way. This one's going to be a little bit longer. So I'm going to start with kind of a dash or a back part of the car on this side and a front part on this side. That kind of will have a curve on there, but really I think if you get kind of a dash on this side and a dash on this side, it'll kind of set up to where the car is going to go on here. From there, add a straight part on here and a straight part over here. That kind of boxes in it a little bit. The wheel shape is going to be kind of on each part of it. So from there, you can start with kind of an arch line and almost, I would probably say about 3/4 of a circle. Not a full circle and not a half circle, but a little bit more than that. Try to do your best kind of circle shape. And a lot of this I'm going to start out lightly, just to kind of go over it a little bit darker with Sharpie, and once I'm a little bit more confident. So that front will again have that kind of 3/4 circle, almost like here. You can see on there, see how that kind of front kind of goes on there and there. As you can see, I stole my son's little race car on here. So kind of like a sports car, I guess we're doing today. Could be a race car, I guess, also. And then really between those, you can just connect that line under. Kind of get an idea for how it goes now. This part will curve up and then come back down. So it kind of has an arch. Cars are really, really difficult. I struggle a lot with cars. Very similar to how I do shoes. I do kind of basic shapes and then add some of the details. One of the last details is the wheels. I kind of have always struggled with that, but I'm going to try to give you some easy steps to go along with that one. This part, I'm going to do this kind of scooping line. It's kind of like a skinny S, but it'll go from kind of this front part. Kind of goes up a little bit, and then down a little bit, and then back up in there. And then pretty thin, that's like that kind of roof line. That line that we just did is kind of like, ooh, there we go. Ooh, now I can kind of see it. It's kind of that up, down, but then that really skinny roof line is what we're going to add on next. So it might actually be easier to start on this side and then try to just follow that right until it hits on there. And I think we got a pretty good shape for that, so I'm going to make it a little darker so you can see. All right, I think we're ready for some of those details now. That front windshield, I'm going to add on here, just kind of connect this in a little bit diagonal of a line. It kind of meets up with that front. Makes it fit nice there. I'm going to go, actually almost like that same angle. I'm going to do a little angle in the back just for a little door, kind of window part of it. Almost that same angle. A lot of symmetry on vehicles. That's why cars are really difficult, because you see them so much. They're almost like perfect. And they're very symmetrical. Really, when you look at the top, it's almost the same on one side as the other. If you look at it from the top, it's really symmetrical from one. All the angles and lines you want to kind of match up. I am going to add, let's start with some of those wheels, since I said that was kind of a difficult part. I want to fit my goal is to fit a circle inside of this. So that's going to be like my tire is going to be the inside. So this is basically just the frame around the tire. on there. So like if I can give you an example, I know I keep on using my little race car here, but it actually just helps because that kind of frame, but then the circle is on the inside. Now these kind of stick out down a little bit too low. I don't want, I can match it up. I don't want the wheel kind of poking out that much. I want the wheel kind of up here a little bit more, and that'll make it look a little bit more like a sports car on there. So I'm going to try to put a circle. That's a good starting point. And then putting a dot in the middle, then you kind of know where that, a lot of them have stripes or the little spokes on the inside or rims that you can design however you want, but really as long as you know that middle part, and then they all come out from there. Let's do some headlights, and then we'll kind of do front lights and then tail lights and then a door. For front lights, I'm going to kind of pull apart almost kind of the same frame. It's going to match this front up here, and then it's kind of going to scoop back a little bit. So it has kind of a front curve, and then it kind of goes up and kind of matches on there. It's kind of a cool looking light. And you can see, if you hadn't noticed before, I kind of dipped out that front a little bit. Maybe I could put another light down there that would be kind of like a fog light on there. Some cars have those. And then for the tail light, I'm going to kind of go opposite. So if this one kind of curves this way, this one is kind of going to curve the other way. Kind of got that backwards kind of L shape, and then just like I did here, I kind of fill that bubble in a little bit, so it starts off skinny and then it gets a little thicker and then it goes down almost like a boomerang. That's a good kind of descriptive way to put it. They are kind of like little boomerangs. That'll be kind of where the door will lead to. This kind of fender up here just kind of matches that. I'm going to kind of put a curve on that part of it, and then that curve is going to round, has kind of a round front and goes a little bit back. So that one kind of is almost like a little racing stripe on there, and then the bottom will do the same thing. We'll go down here. That'll kind of almost makes it look like it's moving already when you just add that little curve and then that line on there. I'm going to add a little bit of the door on here. I'm going to make this line a little bit thicker, and then it's going to go down and then almost kind of meet up with this down here, and then that goes over just about the same, but then that one's got to meet with that window, so you can picture this whole thing kind of coming out. If you could envision that, that's a good way to do it. Let's see if we can match this up. Maybe a little curved line up. Some doors have kind of a curve on that outside, so let's give it a little curve on there. Kind of bring it out. I like that. That looks kind of cool. All right, so I think I'm ready to add some details on my wheels or my rims, and I actually really like the car that I have. So I'm gonna take a sneak peek over here and show you guys wheels over here. My actual wheels on my car, just a little SUV, nothing big and fancy. But I really do like the wheels. But I really also like that they kind of go down and then they kind of actually curve out a little bit. So they start kind of small and then they come out a little bit. So let's try to do that. A little circle on there, make sure that circle is in there. And then, like I said, it has kind of these lines. I want to make them even around, so maybe we'll do 6. So we'll kind of do almost like an X shape, and then with a line through it. I think that's a good kind of cheat way to do it. Kind of do an X, and then a line right through it. And then, as I said, these get a little bit bigger on the outside, so almost like a triangle, part of a triangle on the outside of them. So it kind of goes out to each side, or like a V on the outside, and then that will actually kind of connect to that part. So I'm going to go through some of those details, finish up on this side, and I'll do that really, really quick. So let's go. Having the tires set on there adds a little bit more, makes it look a little bit more realistic. I'm going to do a little bit more outlining with Sharpie, and then think about what color that I'm going to do. I've done an orange one. This was an older video that I'm kind of tweaking a little bit for step by step. I liked how that orange looked, but I'm going to think about a blue. I like the blue colors on sports cars and race cars, and that kind of made me think of my little blue car here. So I'm going to try to do a blue on that, add a cool background, and lots of details on there. So let's have fun with that. Let's go through that quick. All right, so just like that, there it is. I had a little background. I got my little inner Bob Ross going on in the background with the mountains and the sunset in there. So hopefully you guys like it. As always, I am Mr. Shooty. This is Mr. Schuettesart channel. We'll talk to you guys later.